All right, I wanted to do this video to show how ignorant people are. Now, the title of it is how to super clean cloth seats. And this video is by Golden Car Detail. So you can check out the comments. This guy says how to get moldy seats. And then this other guy says, great. Now how do you get the 3 gallons of soapy water out of the seats and foam? One musty smelling seats forever. Never pressure wash on seats, buddy. Invest in an extractor. And then this one's so you create conditions for some mold now. First off, these are suede seats. Now the guy, he called them cloth seats. These are not cloth seats, these are suede seats. And as you can see, yes, natural suede is a form of leather. So again, you can tell based off of the fabric on the foam that this is suede. However, the suede is perforated. So no, you don't want to take a power washer to a perforated seat. However, at the same time, in a way that the way that they're perforated, the holes are not really that big at all on these seats. However, this is a detailer. The detailer does have blowers that help dry the car. It's not air drying, which means that the comments in the comment section are irrelevant. Now, if you look at the drill, he's using a yellow brush. And with suede, you want to use a white brush. You don't want to use the yellow brush on leather or on suede, which I don't recommend you use any type of drill brushes on leather at all. And in this form right here, I can actually tell that these seats don't really look perforated. That's just the design in the seats. And right here, you can see he's using a power washer. Now you can see that the seat is completely cleaned. It's not dry, and you can tell that it's not dry just because around the edges here on the floor, you can kind of tell that the floor is still a little bit wet. So this is just after he cleaned it. And once it dries, you'll be able to see whether it's absolutely clean or not clean. Again, like I said, he has blowers. Now in the comments, somebody mentioned mold because of how much water he's putting into the seats. Okay, the reason why that comment is irrelevant is because, again, the detailer would have blowers that would be blowing to help dry the seats, which means that they're going to dry a lot quicker. Another reason why the comment was irrelevant is because we use on the whenever we clean the seats and extract, we use a special chemical that keeps mold from actually accumulating. So you want to get a good saturation of that chemical into the seats to prevent any mold during the drying process, because sometimes humidity can change if you're inside of a facility or even outside. What a lot of people don't understand is that while you're in the comments and you're making all of these negative comments and they're irrelevant due to the process that the detailer is actually making, you're discouraging people from booking that detail with that detailer. Again, he took the seat out. He has a process that he has to follow because we all do the same thing. Now, if you're dealing with a newer detailer, that detailer that may have never worked at a shop or didn't work at a shop long enough, that detailer will make mistakes that could cause some damage in the long run, such as mold, mildew, which is another form of mold, errors in the carpets and seats or whatever, running an ozone machine on leather, so forth. These are common issues that you generally come across with detailers that do not really know what they're doing. Now, his detailing page, he has 29.6K subscribers, over 1.1K videos, and as you can see, he's been doing this for quite some time. His YouTube is all about it. I noticed that he's using Coach Kimmy in that picture right there. So the whole point of this video is pretty much to direct everything towards the comments. People they don't know what they're saying. They just came across this dude's video, watched the video, and made assumptions, but they are not making assumptions based off of educated understanding of how detailing works. Like I said, because of the blowers, using blowers, you can dry a car way faster than somebody detailing a car from home. So they need to understand that there's a difference between somebody who is, cleaning their car at home and an actual detailer who has equipment to dry the vehicle properly. A lot of our techniques and things that we do to a vehicle, if a car buyer, owner themselves try to do it without the proper machinery, then yes, they will make mistakes and cause damage to the vehicle, because they, like in this video doesn't show the whole process. It doesn't show whether he used any type of finisher on the car to prevent any mold or mildew from building up. It doesn't show that he used blowers to dry the vehicle or anything like that. So an average person saying, oh, I got a power washer, I'm going to go ahead and power wash my seats and clean it. Yeah, they're going to build mold up in their car or mildew up in their car. It is going to have a musty smell afterwards because they don't dry it. They don't use the right chemical to prevent any type of mold growth from happening in the vehicle. So it's, and this is why it's not a how-to vehicle. It's just, he's just making videos to show the outcome of the work that he's putting into his detailing service. So this allows people to make an intelligent decision. You know what? I'm going to go with him because my seats look like this, or my car looks like that. That's why I don't understand why some people make videos and the detailer themselves are like, oh my God, this car is really nasty. You've seen cars like that. You're taking on this particular job because it's nothing to you. It's what you see constantly on a day-to-day basis. People who normally get their cars detailed are normally the ones that don't care about what they drop, spill, or waste inside of their car, because they're going to pay somebody to go ahead and do it. People who can't afford or don't get their cars detailed will probably keep their car in a more decent shape, but oftentimes they don't. And it's not until the car is being sold that somebody has to go and get the car detailed. So even the car that you see people posting up on the internet doesn't mean that the person who paid to get the detail done is actually the individual who made the mess in the car. A lot of people, they have 4 or 5 kids and everything. The kids are making the car messy. Parents end up giving up on keeping the car clean because they have jobs, or they have a marriage that's going down the drain, whatever. They're depressed, stressed out, anxiety, and so forth. But again, when you're watching these videos on YouTube, understand that these little shorts, they're not going over a step-by-step process. The majority of these vehicles don't show you what the process that we take to prevent any type of mold or mildew from growing in the car after a shampoo. And we all have to do the same thing to make sure that none of that happens. Appreciate you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.